Today I took 4 trades, um, 2 losers and 1 break even and 1 winner. These 2 were very early entries without proper confirmations, and I think they were mostly FOMO. So going to today, the pivots were all higher across the board, and it closed above R1 yesterday too, so it was pretty bullish within a bullish trend, it seems like. And today's open was above, well, slightly below H4. It was pretty much at H4, but it was above value and above value ETH, and then way above value RTH and range. So my plan today, my main plan, pretty much my only plan, was to short this or long this level of low volume node here, which also aligned with the value area high and also H4 up here. So I really liked this area for longs. And if it goes through this, I would want to look at this H3 area, 7309, which was also demand for longs. If not, and it just rallies to H5, then I would look to short at H5 here. So my main plan was to long here, and that is the one that I eventually ended up taking. But the first 2 were just horrible trades in hindsight, I think. And it all started because it came to market open here. Then I see that it dipped down into my level here, right? So it goes into 29, the 30s, 29, 26. So it goes 28 here. I see a bunch of selling. Like there's a delta divergence bearish here. Lots of buyers coming in, but candle still negative. And so I'm kind of looking at this to long here, but the confirmations aren't particularly right. So it's forming a CVD hidden divergence bearish, and I'm just like, I want to long this here, but I'm not seeing any confirmations. And then it goes up, and it comes out of this kind of consolidation here, where there was a lot of volume, and then there was a little pop here. And I honestly thought about going in long here, because it seems like the buyers were just overpowering at this point. Yes, it formed divergences, but look at that buy-in that came in. So when it was coming back down, I want to kind of long this here. When it comes back down to this little ledge here. I thought about it, but I'm like, I don't have proper confirmations, right? So I just let it go. And then I watched it run from what, the 34s to 44s, where 10 points. Yeah, so I'm kind of, I guess, regretting my decision not to enter, which was the right decision. Looking back at it, I'm like, there is just nothing, no confirmations that I usually look for. So I shouldn't have taken it, and I didn't take it, which is good. But now I'm looking for a pullback, and I'm in the back of the head, I have this feeling that I missed this entry here. So I'm trying to look for a pullback. I see this delta divergence bearish with a P shape, and then CVD hidden divergences here. So it's pretty bearish at this point, but I'm still looking for like a really slight pullback. Too long. And what I see here is 73.40, and it becomes a high delta level here. And I'm looking for that 73.40 to hold. And it seems like it's kind of consolidating there. It's forming a somewhat of a B shape here, it seems like. It ends up not really looking like that, but it forms another bearish delta divergence there. But as soon as it comes up above 73.40, I take long 2 contracts. And I'm not sure, honestly, why. That's literally the only thing I was looking at. I mean, there's nothing. I mean, these are 2 bearish delta divergences. Nothing here. Nothing telling me that buyers are present. Nothing here. If anything, it's all bearish confirmations here. I don't really know why I entered it like that, especially with 2 contracts. I mean, I think I was just eager to get in here. Pretty horrible trade in hindsight. So I get stopped out pretty quickly here. But then I see that this time around, it is forming a delta divergence on the 2-minute. Although other things still don't look great. I see that it is forming a delta divergence here, right there. And then a bunch of sellers got stuck there. That was pretty much it, though. I mean, there was really nothing other than that. And so I entered another 2 contracts here. I don't even know why it's 2 contracts. I thought maybe it was because it was a small stop, but yeah, again, not a good trade. Not a good entry. I didn't have good confirmations. I honestly think it was out of FOMO. I didn't want to miss out on this move because I already missed out. In my brain, I'm thinking I already missed out over here. So I just want to get in as soon as possible because it's forever going to run without me and go all the way to my target in a straight line, right? So again, I get stopped out pretty quickly here. Forms another delta divergence bearish, and then I get stopped out. It actually forms a 2-minute delta divergence there, which was a good sign, I thought, until it rejected again at this same area here. So then it comes back down, stops me out, and forms another delta divergence bearish, and then it tanks. So it's a pretty aggressive sell-off right there. A big sell-off downwards, and then I see, this is my first like proper trade, I guess. I see that it comes down, and then price goes back up, and it forms a delta divergence on the 20 range chart. With the PSC at the bottom here, at the lows, hammer candle that formed, and a B shape there. So I like that. I'm looking for some sort of retest back in, but maybe this is the proper pullback that I should have waited for instead of taking 2 earlier entries. And I enter with 1 contract here with the stop under the lows, expecting that it would break above the 38s, and it kind of does. And it goes and breaks the highs, which I like. And yeah, so that was my entry. It forms a 3-minute 2-bar reversal there, then forms a 5-minute hammer there, which I like. It goes and hits 2R here. So I move my stop to break even. There also was a higher low that formed here, so I thought it was a decent stop to have it at break even. But then it comes down to aggressively and stops me out here at break even. So I have my stop at 37, and comes down. Big delta divergence here, bearish, comes down, stops me out. Then now I already took 3 trades. 2 of them were pretty bad trades, but still took 3 trades, right? So this forms a 1-minute 2-bar reversal, a big high volume 3-minute hammer, a big 5-minute 5-minute high volume hammer, and so I wanted to get back in here. A bunch of buying imbalances come in. I like it, but I just couldn't get myself to take it again because that was the only thing I had. I didn't really see anything on the tape. It was just 3-minute and 5-minute high volume hammers. And I was like I already took 3 trades. I don't have the best of confirmations here. I'm just going to let it go. And then I'm watching it work out without me. Rallies up. And yeah, right after it stops me out at break even, rallies up and hits what would have been my target here. But then after that, I finally see very good tape confirmations here. So there's a big seller that comes in, negative 1200, but the price doesn't really react that much to it. Goes back up, candle's green. There's a selling imbalance that formed at the low, at the exact low, negative 1400, but candle's pretty neutral right now. Even on the 2-minute here, it is forming a delta divergence on the 2-minute, and it doesn't close like that, but negative 1700, but candle's green. Negative 1400, but candle's green. So I'm kind of liking that little pullback. Then also on the 1-minute here, it's forming a CVD hidden divergence with a 1-minute delta divergence there. Negative delta, but green candle. And then again on the 2-minute, it's forming a delta divergence, even though this one didn't end up quite as a delta divergence. So as soon as it pops a little, I enter just with one contract, stop under here, 45s. I was very hesitant, but I justified it by saying that technically I took 2 losses, not 3. Although I did take 3 trades. One was a break even, so I had one more shot left. So I enter with one contract here in anticipation that this 20 range candle will end as a delta divergence. At this point, I was worried that it would just come back down and form a red candle, but eventually it formed a delta divergence, and that was good. So it breaks the highs and pretty much rallies up to my target here at H5. Yes, H5 was a little bit of a stretch target, but that was my original thesis anyways, to bounce off this value area high and low volume node zone H4, and then run to H5. So I took it there. I had my target H5. It was a pretty good move up to H5. I had one little pullback here that made me nervous, but held through it and pretty much hit it straight on. So thankfully I took that last trade and recovered it, but these two should not have been trades at all, honestly. Should have just never happened. I am pretty disappointed in myself with these trades. Very much FOMO trades. Trying to grab some sort of something that doesn't exist. And I paid for it.